Hello everyone. We are live.
Hello.
Hello. Right. So thank you very much for joining us. This is our second time, right? Live
Nice.
from our own Facebook channel, and also our first time live in our YouTube channel. So yeah, thank you very much for taking your time, right, and spending your time with us tonight. Yeah, normally probably you guys see me in Technical Tuesday, right? But we're going to do this more frequent in our FACADEMY night live, right? Together with Warren. How you, bro?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Just
Right.
just a little disappointed, recent news, but yeah.
Oh, is it? I just want to ask you about are you happy
Oh
with the
man.
new government or not?
Well, as I don't know lah, as a citizen in Malaysia, yeah, disappointed lah. But as an investor and trader, we just gotta take what is gonna. It is what it is lah. We just gonna today we're
Yeah,
gonna discuss more about that, right? We're gonna
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So it is what it is. But anyway, I think just maybe you can tell everyone here, just before we start, right? Basically, for Academy, we are an establishment. Yep. In case you don't know us, my name is Warren Howe. My partner Shafiq. We empower people on how to trade and invest stocks, right? So if you want to bring your A game, you want to level up, you want to if you're new to the stock market, if you're not, it doesn't matter, right? Because we have we empower people. Basically, we empower, we try to bring people up to the next level, and the level the playing field. This is what we do. Yeah, so do subscribers on all our channels, right? Especially do like us on all our channels, especially subscribe to our new YouTube channel, right? Much appreciated. Awesome. Awesome.
Right, right.
So
So
how
today topic is quite interesting, and actually I choose this topic because it's very timely, suitable with what happened in our country, right? The
yeah.
topic is um, does political sorry, I forgot. Right. Um, yeah, I mean, does the political crisis end? Right. This the turnaround for our market? Right. I think this is very interesting topic to discuss, and this is something that we're going to look forward for next week. What to trade
Mm-hmm.
next week? All right. What is our market view next week? Which is very important, lah. Right. So before we discuss more, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to backtrack a little bit, right? Like so far, what we have done, what have we done in July and August, right? So if you guys follow our public portfolio performance, we take a quite big hit on July, right? Because basically, we use a wrong strategy lah. We expect that market not going to be that bad, but in fact, is it that bad, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, and in fact, during July, right, 26 July, the Mesyuarat Khas Parliament start to commence, right? That is the first day of Mesyuarat Khas Parliament. And during that day, right, um, in the government side, lah, right, this is what triggered the fall of previous government, which is Media Cabinet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is our Prime Minister Law, right? He said that the ordinary darurat is already end, right? So we don't need to discuss. While in fact that Mesyuarat Khas is supposedly to, I mean, is purposely for that discussion. So that is basically trigger the panic, and you see the panic in the market, lah, right? So maybe I can show a little bit here in chat.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is where it happened, 26 July, right? And after that, we have like 1 week full with Parliament, right? And market drop until the last day, right? Where um, our government, right, hit by the letter from YDPA Agong, right? Say that he disappointed that they not discuss about the ordinance darurat, right? And that is basically like not following his order lah, right? Then that's why market panic on this day, right? 30 July. This is like the big panic lah. Like, wow, this is like this like you see that very weird thing happen. Like suddenly parliament tutup, right? They suddenly got COVID cases and whatnot. So it create a lot of speculation, and this is what happened. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why we see these two big red candle is basically like reactionary with what happened in the political
Mm-hmm.
uh, scene lah, right? And yeah, so but what do you think, Warren? I mean, what do you, because you are more focused to US, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but during this time also, right, US market start to weaken, right? So actually, what you think happened in our market, like our global equities market, is it because of the
Mm-hmm.
global uncertainties, or just because of political issue? What happened to USA?
Oh, Bursa. It's definitely every time I get like notifications, right? The itch on the itch. I also join some Telegram groups that just specifically giving news. KLCI drops again. KLCI drops again. Eh, I don't know how many times though. I wanted a snapshot and show to our group. Hey guys, KLCI drop again. KLCI drop again. I
Right.
mean, this is the reason. Obviously, a political heavy effect, lah. All right, obviously. But if you want to talk about U.S. market, obviously, it's Delta variant. Uh, the Fed say that they want to be reducing stimulus, right? All these things like 2 days ago. So definitely, this is a fact. And my thesis actually was that because of these, in lieu of all these events, my thesis was to get more cash, right? Collect more cash, build up more cash, be in a position of power to know what sort of investments we want to go in, reading sector rotation to be part of that, that thematic play and that short. Let's say your short term portfolio allows you to do that. Read up on sector rotation, right? Because there was a huge rotation, that I'm pretty sure a lot of people missed on May 2021, where tech stocks were like going down like mad. But what goes down must come up, right? So what are the sectors that go up, right? Materials, basic materials went up, utilities went up, real estate, energy went up. But obviously, I'm not really, that is not within my space. Energy, I don't really invest in sunset industries and sunset sectors. But those who are bold enough, right? Those who have have the balls, they should have. And what we told our group was buy more technology stocks, right? Buy those, especially that if that is within your line of competence and within your your long term goal, right? As long as those because that provides a cushion, right? Your margin of safety, you know, is protected. If because whenever a stock goes down, right, your risk actually drops. So I mean, those who have really studied through, understood the tech stocks that they went in, and some of the stocks are obviously Square, right, Tesla, a lot of companies that we personally invest in that we share with our group. But take no mistake, we don't give buy calls, right? We don't give buy calls, we don't give sell calls. We do our DUD and we share our DUD. It's only a matter of you taking a risk. So what happened was that for example, Square, easy example, it touched on 190, right? It touched 190. We combined TA. We can see the chart. We can see the chart that okay, is bouncing within that support level. Then I mean, if it's for long term anyway, that provides a cushion. So what happened? If we bought at the support levels right back in May 2021, easy gain of 30%. Furthermore, backed up by their recent earnings, right? Recent earnings call, quarter call, that raise up even more, right? So, what I'm trying to say here, Fig, is that sometimes to be an investor or a trader, we just need to be in the market, right? Just see. I mean, if we are patient enough, we got cash. Just see how the market is, right? Just see how the market is. We can capitalize on
Yeah.
losses. If you're just a long investor, not shorting, hedge funds, they short, they long. If you're just a long guy or person, then you can grab deals based on selling off lah. But looking at the S&P 500, looking at the Dow Jones, looking at the Nasdaq, looking at all the ETFs, right? The sector ETFs. Uh, they are pretty high. They're climbing really high. Do you notice that, Fig? They're climbing really
Yeah,
high,
you mean
and
it's due to
yeah,
retracement lah. It's due to
yeah.
pull
What
back.
I'm
Yeah,
what I'm trying to say is that I'm scared. It's quite scary lah. It's quite scary that it's so high. It's not is exactly the opposite of Malaysia. We see KLCI going down, 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 down. But then again, this is the topic at hand, right? Are there opportunities that we can grab in KLCI? Later you can discuss on that. Later you can show that. But what I'm trying to say overall is that okay, my thesis was that the market is really going up, 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 and there's still room to grow simply because they're low in a low interest rate environment. Do not underestimate a low interest rate environment. Seriously, right? Traders, investors, they really they look at the yield curve, right? They look at yield curve inversion. They look at interest rates. They look at bond yields. Do not underestimate that because in my based on my own personal opinion, the market still has room to run, especially to a state that the market is not fully at the top in terms of the economy, right? The reason why they're dropping interest rates is because Powell said that they still have some companies are still recovering only. The whole economy is not yet fully recovered, but when they really fully recover, we should be really mindful of that. We should be really diversifying our portfolio and hedging on safer plays, consumer staples, whatever defensive stocks, in my opinion. But then again, who am I to tell you what to do? I mean, we just have to be cautious, right? So that's what I mean, bro. That's what I mean. Like, the
right.
market is going up and it's scary, but that long term sort of like, and when I mean long term is like 1-2 year play of benefiting from an interest rate environment. Yeah, I personally think that there's still sort of room to grow. It's just that right now the short term movements is irrational, right? China stocks, nothing affecting the fundamentals, all pure
Yeah,
market sentiment. I mean, those are plays that we can capitalize on, right? And if you're worried about finding that gem, just stick to the big boys, right? These big boys have proved it. They're market leaders. They're pricing power, right? Baba, whatever it is, 10 cent. I mean, my opinion, this is time to if you got cash, you got holding power. This is time to be grabbing on some lah. Yeah, that's my overall outlook.
exactly. And that's the reason why I bring up this, right? Because I want to show that actually, if you notice lah, I want to say that, right? We know that our specialty in our bursa is technology, right? Our technology basically follow. I mean, we are one of big value chain, global value chain in technology, right? So I want to show here. I want to prove that, right? That during all the hanky panky things happen, right? Our technology index is still uptrend, right? It's still going up, right? And when it start to go down, right, is when the global or here I'm referring to Nasdaq, right? When Nasdaq start to go down, right? And the funny thing is our KSI start to climbing back, right? Start to rebound. Why? Because we already see like okay, you're going to choose a new PM or whatnot. That's a process that we see there's a progress lah, right? At least that we can hope, right? So I want to say that although Bursa is down, 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 right? I mean, this is true lah. You can compare this, right? You can see our market have been down since 2018. In fact, even before that, right?
Oh my god. Okay.
This is yeah. I mean, our markets have been down since 2018 lah, right?
Okay.
So I mean that is normal, right? For
You know
Bursa.
how depressing that sounds?
I
How the
personally, I personally think like right. First,
Oh man.
our CalCI index
Yeah.
not really capture all the movement.
Yeah, confirm. Just 30
Yeah,
companies, right? Yeah.
yeah. And in
Yeah.
fact, if I show you my combination of index, right, our
Yeah.
market is actually uptrend lah. But that is like overall market,
Right. Okay, got it.
right?
Got it.
This 30 is going down means that the how to say we choose 30 because they are top business, right?
Yep.
But even though this top business is not doing well, because meanings that our market have a different characteristic already, right?
Yep.
We're not really looking at the business wise too much, right? Rather, we really looking at the fund flow. We're looking at the volume of the market. We look
Yeah.
at where's the hot money goes in, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that is what, even though I would say, right, market have been downtrend since 2018, it's still
Mm-hmm.
downtrend now, right? But you can still make money because there's certain sector that still can go against what the
For
this
sure. For
KCI
sure.
direction,
For
right?
sure.
Yeah, and that's why I show our technology lah. You see how different it is, right?
Very,
Yeah.
very
So
different.
yeah, but yeah,
These
I
are.
mean that.
Mhm.
Sorry. Yeah, yeah. Go to your question.
No, these are perks of long-term investor in a way, right? If you bought
True.
since last year, especially on technology companies in tech stocks in Malaysia, I mean, they would have already went up, right? Like QES, DNO, these are the companies that we can capitalize on
Great
going
tech,
in
Penta.
early. Yeah, great tech, right? Whatever it is. Yeah, I mean, definitely the tech stocks are definitely on the way up because of their earnings growth potential. We can't really compare with KLCI. The next question is, uh, I mean, other than just investing, other than just long term, value investments, what are the sort of stocks that we can trade in lieu of this recent, you know, good news or bad news, whatever you want to call it? What can we do?
Yeah, we're going to come into that question, but
Right.
the reason why I bring up all of this because I want to show that Malaysia have a very special characteristic,
Okay.
right? In the
Yeah.
sense of how we play the market, right? And in fact, we one thing that really shocked me, right, is in Southeast Asia we are the top volume in the market, right? Our market
Got it.
is high volume, meaning that our retailer is active lah, right? And that's true when last year COVID, right? Where we start to lock down and whatnot. So people don't know what to do and whatnot, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they start to looking at market. Then yeah, that all of this is basically like pushing the market. But the culture always has been the same, right? The characteristic always been the same. So the reason why I bring this up because I want to prove that, right? Our market have a characteristic. Okay, so of course it's not as sexy as Malaysia market. It's not sorry, not sexy as US market, right?
Yeah.
US market is very sexy lah, right? You cannot, but of course it's not very sexy. We just look at KCI, right? But we need to know where's the germ is, right? And we need to know the characteristic on how to play this market, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically how we take advantage lah, right? During this time, yeah.
Got it.
But
Uh,
yeah,
I wanna comment something, especially on US market, right? All we need are like few sectors. Two sector, right? To be like, for example, if you are tech savvy or you are bullish on tech, all you need to do is to follow that particular sector and that follow that particular stock that you are interested in for the long term. Again, bringing back the May 2021 sort of advantage. The public portfolio, by the way, Fik, our US public portfolio, right? The NAV was at 140K, and the highest was 208 lah, 208K, right? USD. What I'm trying to say here is that when it was 140K, you know how noisy I was. I was noisy in, like, Telegram group, in our group, to say that, guys, what are we waiting for, guys? I mean, obviously we're not buying, we're not forcing people to buy, but uh these are sort of examples of gains, though. These are example of opportunities, sorry. So, you know it to me, S&P 500 is a little easier to predict compared to KLCI. Furthermore, I do not want to be predicting KLCI because it doesn't even represent the whole market, right? So maybe we look at, like what you said, tech, the tech sector overall, which is, I mean, it's a good thing. If you have been just playing tech, and I have one friend, right? He's literally an engineer in Penang, right? He's like hands on. He's a chip designer. All he does is just read and play tech stocks. Seriously, just tech only. That's all. You can even make money in the market, right? Just be, within your circle of competence, right? Yeah, so that's what I want to comment is that we can even make money just by having two sectors. That investing doesn't have to be hard, but all we have to do is just like put in the hard work, right? Look at the sectors, look at the market, look what's the patterns, combine FA and TA, right? Really work to it. Then we might just, if we have the courage, right, to be buying on a huge dip, don't be afraid. Like be opposite of that. If we're opposite of that, we can actually gain some money. And people think that 1 month, 2 months time getting 30% is like a scam. But we have been in the market so long. People get that in a week, right? So yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That's all I want to comment.
Yeah,
When we want to compare these two, markets, SSP, SSP 500, to me it's a little easier. But maybe I've been watching it more than KLCI, right? Maybe I'm watching more than right tech stocks. You could be, someone that says, "Hey, no, Warren, there are definitely opportunities in tech," and yeah, they are, right? It's good that you have identified them. So what's the next step, right? What are you gonna do? And yeah, that's my color, giving some color on how can we grab
yeah,
opportunities and be mindful of.
yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, I very agree with you. All right, and that's why when we, I mean, when we, me as a trader, we need to be smart doing money management lah, right? So we need to know how to read when the market is probably going to be volatile, right? And when market is trending, okay? Because this is the combination of index that I say just now. I think if we looking at this index, is doing better than our KSCI, right? and and yeah, and and this capture all the movement in the market, right? So this is like capture all the market cap, lah, right?
Right.
But my point is like our market have been slumped down, right? Start from March, right? And starting from March, we have changed our approach to be more conservative. So previously we are more, there's a two type of play, right? Where we do money management. One is concentration play, one is diversify, right? Diversification play. So when market is downtrend, right? I mean, we go against the odd, right? So when we want to go against the odd, when we want to go against the stream, right? If the market downtrend, we want still to long the market. So it's a little bit hard, right? In Malaysia, in fact, you cannot short, right? So that's why what we need to understand is the money management, right? Really to read what's the risk lah in the market, right? And what's the best way to manage our money. And that's why I bring up our public portfolio. When we learn that, all right, in July we make a mistake, all right,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in June we make a mistake, in July we recover back, all right, which is yeah, we recover back little bit, but means that we in the correct direction again, right? Previously we do concentration, right?
Mm-hmm.
We trade on a counter that we concentrate on a few counters like on few sector, but now we diversify, right? And when the market become more speculative, right, like what happened the last 2 weeks, right, we have been really selective and very, I mean, not enter the market just like that, right? We're very selective. We pick and choose lah, right? And even if we trade in very manageable amount of risk. So I think at the end of the day, that's important things to do. Okay, and all right. So that this backtrack lah, like what happened previously. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now the question is what now? Right?
Yeah. What now?
Yeah, what now?
By
Okay.
the way, guys,
So before
appreciate. Sorry, yeah, appreciate it, guys. If you're, the viewers here, if you can share on your screens, share with your friends, share with your family. Every we try to go live every Friday. So hopefully, if you want to be, digging into our minds, right? Digging what we do, what we think about the market. If you got any questions, feel free to comment. Yeah, please do click that share button, and yeah, we'll be happy to provide more value if you want. Yep.
All right. Okay. So what next? I think for what next, fundamentally, we want to look at what happened, lah, right? That's why we look at what happened. We look at what happened because we want to really identify whether what the reaction of the market really because of politics or not, right? And second thing is you want to see, right, if this is really because of politics, right, what should we expect next, right, when we have a new government, right? So first thing first, right, the previous government, they don't have a stable government simply because they never test their, how to say this, they never test whether they are legitimate government or not, right? They never test the confidence vote and whatnot. So when this happened, it should rule out that, right? Because this time, right, they already have that number, and that number, right, they going to bring in the parliament and vote again to legitimate the government, right? So this should reduce that risk altogether already. Okay, so that's number one. So the problem why market very reactive when start the parliament, because this issue have been played again and again, right, during that time. So market government is not legitimate and whatnot. So yeah, it bring the political instability. So now politics becomes stable again, right? Hopefully, and yeah, if not, this is 3 times already, right? The government change is like buying shampoo. You buy one shampoo, got 3 in 1, right? But yeah, so you want to see that, right? Is the market really have really reaction simply because of politics or not? This is number one. And just now I showing that, right, in technology is not because of politics, and in fact the other way around, right, because of probably what happened in global economy. So in that sense, maybe we should change our focus again, right, to a recovery play. Reason is because when we already have a stable government, right, we should have a better governance in managing COVID, right? And in fact, why the market has been down since March, because of the severity of our COVID cases, right? It's getting worse and worse, right? It start from 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, now 23,000 today. So it's very crazy, right? And we are one of the highest, right, in COVID case per population, right? But we also need to we also need to be aligned, or we need to know what is our government direction is, right? And because our government is not a not so new government, right? It's basically same government like previously, just change the figurehead. So we should expect they still go through the same policy, right? Which is they're going to focus on vaccination program, right, for the recovery phase. And in fact, this has been their modus operandi lah. You see that yesterday, right? Our Prime Minister caretaker, he already announced that there's a uh, more more relaxed SOP, right? We can go to restaurant and whatnot. So that should be like a starting point where we should see that, okay, we are on the recovery stage, right? So when all this start to come again, means that we should start to see recovery play lah, right? While at the same time we should also stick with our work from home play, okay? Because although we are confident with our vaccination, but we need to know that our vaccination right now, right? If I can show the figure, right? Warren, you see my screen? Oh, sorry, not this. Sorry. Yeah. So this is Malaysian vaccine tracker from Twitter, my vaccine count, right? So very good job, thank you. if you look at here, right, our vaccination progress, right, for the whole Malaysia is already 54% for first dose and 36% for second dose, right? And if you look at our main our center, right, our KL, Selangor, Putrajaya, right, where a lot of economic sector in Malaysia is, first dose is already 78%, right? And second dose already 55%, right? So the target is probably the November is where 80% of the whole Malaysia, right, already vaccinated, right? And probably the end, this is based on timeline of vaccination program, they're going to end this in February, right? So by that means that we have 5 to 6 months, right? Looking forward for that. Okay, so what we should look at is still recovery play, while at the same time we still need to look at work from home play. So that's number one. Number two, when we have a new government, of course we want to look at what counter that we can play lah, right? So if you look at here, I have a watch list of politics counter, right? Counter that related to political party or figurehead, right? So I think this is what we can look at next week, right? Basically, basically this is have been the characteristic of our market, right? And remember when I start our session just now, I said that our market has very unique characteristic. This is one of the characteristic. We looking at we very hype based retailer, right? So what's the next counter to look at, right? With the new event that happened is probably political counter. Okay, so that's the third things, right? But looking at the whole index, right? I will say that here market is forming a base, right? Here market is being supported, and this is the base lah. Okay, so if the government, the new government really already finish up their formation of cabinet, right, and they prove that they can do their works very well, right, hopefully we can see the recovery, we can see a rebound from here, break out from this what from this wish triangle, right? And yeah, maybe next week we look at this. Okay, so now let's go one by one. Okay, so let's look at Sersol. Okay, Sersol. Okay, so there's a few counter. This is okay. I want to explain that this is not a buy or sell suggestion or call, right? This is simply sharing, right, for educational purposes, right? And the reason I show this because based on my thesis that our market is very unique and we very reactive toward hype, right? So this is probably the next hype in the next week. Okay, so depend on the cabinet minister or not, but probably this is within the counter that we can keep watching lah, right? So if you look at Sersol now at low risk to reward area. Okay, so sorry, this should be okay, right? So now the counter at low risk to reward ratio, right? So if we really think that the counter have a chance to rebound, right, because of political development, this is actually around the area to buy, right? And in fact, this is, we can say that this is the area to accumulate or area to collect, right? Right. And if you look at Sersol in the long run, right, it is still uptrend. Okay, so perhaps what we want to do, right, if we want to play this safe, we want to make sure that you buy when the counter already break from this trend line. Okay, right, not very good trend line, but yeah, right, right, perhaps break the Ichimoku. Okay, so that is for Sersol. Next, we look at GCAN. Okay, GCAN also counter under Najib, right? I mean, it's related to Najib. It's not owned by Najib or something, right? But related to him lah. But I don't think GCAN got got the advantage next week. Okay, perhaps just a goring lah, right? But we can see the GCAN already start to play out, right? It start to rebound, forming a base and whatnot, because of the recent political development, right? Next is Melton, right? Melton also still uptrend, right? You can define a rectangle area here, okay? So when the price break out, yeah, you can consider to watch this counter lah, right? Then WCT, okay? So WCT also showing a good development, right? It have been downtrend and slowly trending uptrend, right? And here, I think this is very good to looking at lah, right? And in fact, WCT also related to recovery pay, right? Oh, sorry, right? If you look at here, what happened is this is you can say either this is VCP pattern, or you can say that this is uh, ascending triangle. Okay, so ascending triangle normally is a bullish movement, right? If you want to be sure, you want to wait for the price to break, but at the current price, it's showing a good risk to reward ratio, right? This is, I think, top counter in this watch list lah, right, for next week. This Eden is related to our former prime minister, current prime minister caretaker. It's very choppy, so I think I skip this. Next is MyEG, right? MyEG is one of the counter that related to UMNO that very reactive to the news, right? Right. Right. Sorry, yeah. Okay. So it's very active to the news. So you see, that's why the price has. I mean, this counter have been growing. I mean, this counter already in growing mode, right? Already break out this area, right, and start to moving. So now it retrace at the middle of the big candle here. So this is actually at a good collection point. Okay. So this is definitely a counter that we need to look at. So now I think top two is WCT, MyEG, right? Next we look at Disonic. Okay, maybe we continue this later lah. Right. So
Fake.
Warren.
Yeah. Yep.
Yo.
So
Yeah.
maybe we can answer some questions in our comments. Andy
Okay.
Tan. Andy is asking, Shafiq, how about Legenda?
Right. Okay, this is very interesting, Legenda. Okay. So wait, I got trouble with my trading view. Can we continue Legenda later?
Oh, you want to fix your thing first, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He was asking two things lah. How about Legenda, and what is a VCP pattern?
Sure. We cover that.
Sure. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Share.
Stay tuned.
Please share your page, share to your friends, share.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you want to talk about before we move on to Legenda?
Right. So that is basically about Malaysia market lah, right? So we're looking at we hope the market politics become more stable, and they focus on recovery phase, focus on their vaccine program, focus on managing COVID to a better number, right? So that I think for Malaysia, right? So maybe you can walk us through what happened in US, and what can we expect within this week or this month?
Oh wow. Okay, I think first of all, what Malaysia needs to do seriously is to really just focus on reducing the COVID cases, lah. Okay, that's the bottom line. I don't care what it is, just
True.
focus on that. That's like number one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I think. And about U.S. market, to be frank, I'm not really a fan of like short-term movements and whatnot. But if we look at I think I just basically I'm just sort of gonna repeat what I mentioned just now. And if we see the charts, right? Can I share? I can share, right?
Yes.
My window, my thing. Okay, share. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yep.
So I mean, overall, when we look at S&P, when we look at the Nasdaq, it's on a huge uptrend, right? It's on a huge run. And this is fueled by we talked about May 2021 just now, right? Capitalizing on the huge sell-off, especially on tech stocks, right? Inflation fears and whatnot. Or even March 2021, that's an insane drop. So the earnings backed it up, right? Earnings projection backed it up. People still have money. Money flow is still going around in the economy. Economy is recovering full swing. They're not really at the top yet. So in my opinion, when I look at this, I mean, I should be scared in a way, but I still think, right, there's still room to grow. I don't know why my camera doesn't. Can you guys see me? Oh my god, my camera is always not functioning. You guys can hear me, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Can.
So what I'm trying to say is that is fueled by a longer run, in my opinion, over the long term, right? When I talk long term is probably 1 year, 2 years. But if you ask me about short term, I remain bearish. I remain picky, but I recently made a purchase, right, of a few stocks, right, small position, small tranche. I bought Tattoo Chef. All right, Tattoo Chef is actually a company that we did a write up before on Stockbit. This is a company that we've been personally preaching in our own group. Yeah, this is it, right? TTCF. I didn't lose TA, but if I was to use TA, I think it's very interesting because it's playing around support levels, but it's more to long term investment, right? But overall, I'm still keeping a lot of cash. If you ask me about 1 week to 1 month, I honestly don't know where the direction is, but my honest projection, my educated guess is that is going to be weakness simply because there's going to be a huge run. There was a huge run up anyway, So yeah, I'm saving cash. I'm being selective. I'm building thesis on certain companies that I don't want to reveal yet, but yeah, this is what essentially what I'm doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
what I want to
Sorry.
say,
We.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yes.
I think what I want to
Go.
say is that I'm not sure. Hopefully you guys attended our recent workshop when I was talking about Dropbox. There are certain companies that I'm more like a bottoms up guy, bottoms up approach guy where we look at the core, then we look at the sectors. But sometimes I'm still, I'm learning things every day, right? I'm still training myself on being a sort of like a sector rotation picker, right? How to be hedging our portfolios better, right? That's what hedge funds do. So I'm still, really improving my game on that. It's just that, but I'm really, I don't f around when it comes to core, right? I don't f around when it comes to bottoms up. So what I mean is that back in our recent workshop, we talked about Dropbox thesis, and there's so many companies that actually I'm reiterating my bullish thesis, especially on Palantir and whatnot, because of those recent like progress, you know and if we are bottoms up people, like bottoms up investors, we can judge, our base and foundation on that. Once we build up the foundation, follow up, and if the reports are good, right, and you see that in line with your original thesis of why you're buying, having a buy plan, we should be thinking about buying in regardless of the stock price, right? Because if you're, I mean, provided that it's a decent value 5 years later, 2x or 5x or whatever it is, right? Bull case, bear case. So I think that we need to have that. And Dropbox is one of them, right? Um, that's what I have to say. But if you want to ask me about market sentiment, honestly, I'm bearish in the short term. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
that's what I have to
And
say.
Ethan also said that he was looking to buy some US stock, but not sure how low it can go. Right.
Oh, he did?
So
Okay.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not sure how
So
low it
yeah.
can
I
go.
mean,
Okay.
but it won't go as low as probably Malaysia. Right? I mean, as long as Malaysia, yeah, but yeah, sorry that we suddenly jumped to US, right? Now we jump back to Malaysia. Okay. All right. I want to continue, then we answer Andy Tan question, right? So here, just now we look at MyEG, right? Next is D-Sonic. D-Sonic also counter that have very close relation or speculate to have very close relation with UMNO. So yeah, I mean the recent win is the big win for UMNO, right? So definitely a counter that we need to looking at, right? So uh, this counter is downtrend, is very choppy, but we can anticipate a rebound lah, right? So the rebound could be sorry, terbalik. Right. So now you already test the resistance here, right? 485. Okay. If the price can break, right, maybe you can anticipate 515. Okay. Right. But this is, I think, probably lah, you're going to retrace a little bit. Okay. Because um uh maybe that's here here market already buy in a lot, and in fact it's already out of the volatility, the normal range of volatility, right? So maybe we can expect market open low, right, but can continue high, right? That is my guess lah, right? Next is EFOS. EFOS is also related to UMNO, but not really uh, famous, I guess, right? So this is also same, right? All these three counter have the same pattern. Uh,
They do,
the
huh?
yesterday, yeah, all these counter have the same pattern, right? The yesterday a very big candle, right? So what we can expect next week is going to be another big candle, lah, right? So
Really?
hopefully you see that. This is UMNO counter, bro.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, that's true lah. But we never
yeah.
know,
I
right?
mean,
Maybe the thing's
we
already
we
priced in. I don't know. Yeah, but anyway,
we play with the high, lah. No,
that's true.
I don't
That's
think
true.
it's priced in. I don't
Follow
think
the
it's priced in.
trend, bro.
I don't think pricing because why? Because it's very has been like today. It's been very like teki, like you don't know at
Got
the
it.
end who
Got it.
going to be the prime minister.
Got
So
it.
you
Got it.
see, if you compare with counter that related to Anwar, for example, ASB, right? ASB also one of the top gainers today, right? Top five, because maybe he's trending or not, right? Means that people still very very playing safe, right? So yeah, that's why I quite confident lah, right? The hype going to be next week. Can we see the hype next week?
Ride it,
Yeah,
lah. Ride it.
right.
Ride it.
So this star boring. Then CMSB, right? This is counter that related to Sarawak lah, right? GPS and whatnot. So yeah, this is also actually we see this setup, right? On on yeah, on 16 August like that lah, right? So he coming through. So we say that, all right, this is actually a good counter, even if you want to trade this, because not because of politics. I think this have the setup lah. Okay, right. So yeah, maybe I address any time question now, right?
Go ahead.
Let's look at agenda. Okay, actually, Legenda, you know that our member Zakia and
Yeah. Oh my
Zisian,
god.
right? Right. Wow. That
Share
they make
the
very
screen, bro. Share the screen and show them, man. They need to know. Like that's some motivation. Like when I saw that, I was like, wow, fire, fire,
yeah. Right. And
fire.
in fact, I regret I didn't follow this because Zakia
Oh
asked
my
me
god.
about Legenda lah.
Zakia, are you
Right.
watching? Zakia, are you there? Please comment if you're there.
Right.
We are
So
showing.
you know, yeah, you made profit on Legenda. She made a profit on Legenda.
Yeah,
It's
she's awesome.
very awesome trader lah. Woman
I love
traders,
Zakia. She's awesome.
respect. Yeah, make a profit here, and there's a few others lah that make profit. They holding Legenda, but Zakia holding the Warren. That's why she is the winner here. Right? So that is our Discord. So yeah. So what we discussed last time is she asked, is this a good time to collect or not? Because first we approaching the earning report, right? Second, we also identify that there is a accumulation phase, right? So you can see here got a preliminary support, got a downtrend stopper, right? Then support again, right? This support followed by this spring, right? Then we see there's a jump the creek, right? We see there's a breakout, right? Within this area, and it tests this area again, right now. But this is basically an accumulation phase, and in fact, they asked me about this lah, right? I say that, right, I agree, this is accumulation. One more thing that is very interesting, right? If you compare this with my checking money flow, and this I need to be, this I need to be credit to Zakia again lah, because we discussed about this and she mentioned about this CMF, checking money flow. Okay. Wait ah. CMF. Hi. Okay. CMF. Okay. So if you're looking at checking money flow, right, this counter have been stagnant, which is what we said just now lah. It's during a collection phase or accumulation phase, right? But you see the checking money flow, the money flow is increasing, right? So money flow is increasing, showing a good build up lah, good setup, right? So meaning that this movement, right, is due to collection, right, due to accumulation, right? But again, we cannot apply this to just simply just like that lah, right? We need to do a comparison. We know for sure this is accumulation, right? Because it have accumulation characteristic and it won't break the support. It haven't break the support yet, and the money flow keep increasing. So that what makes this interesting. In fact, the money flow is even higher than previous peak, right? So it's due to breakout lah, right? So yeah, this is very smart play. So this is what we see in Legenda, right? So personally, right, the Legenda here just break from the accumulation phase. So I think this is just a start, right? My and I anticipate that probably going to retrace a bit, testing the resistance, right? Because during accumulation, the it's very normal for the price to test the support 2 times, resistance 2 times in short term. So here we see that the price only test the resistance, right? Maybe we see like 1 or 2 move, then we see a push, right? What we call markup, right? And in fact, today there is a briefing with Legenda, right? Because they just announced the earnings and whatnot. So yeah, I think that's a growth there. There's an upside in the stock price, right? Provided that it maintain above the resistance area, right? This is the resistance area. All right. So yeah, that's my comment on agenda. Next is oh sorry, congrats to her.
He asked VCP.
Where is
pattern.
that? Oh, okay, this one. Where is VCP pattern? Okay, so VCP pattern is actually a term coined by Mark Minervini. So Mark Minervini said, right, that the stock price, he basically shared his strategy lah. This is strategy that being shared by him. He said that stock price move, there is a volatility squeeze, something like that, right? So what it meant by VCP is a volatility contraction pattern. Yeah, so VCP pattern is like, yeah, repeating the pattern lah, right? So what is VCP? VCP is something like this, right? If I can draw, right, is something like, right? So you see that the price forming a volatility. So you consider this, right? This is 100% volatility, right? It tests this resistance, then it tests the same resistance again. It drop, but now the volatility is reduced to almost half, right? So yeah, previously the volatility is this big, now it's smaller. Then there's another volatility that's even smaller than previous volatility. So this is considered as VCP pattern, right? So when the price break out this VCP pattern, right, means that this is counter that break from its accumulation lah, right? So yeah, there's answer for what is VCP pattern. If you want to know more about VCP pattern, right, you can learn about Mark Minervini. You can read his book, um, Market Wizard. I forgot the full book's name, but you can Google lah, Mark Minervini. In fact, you can even follow him in Twitter. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So this is regarding VCP lah, right? Okay.
That's yeah,
So
Samuel Saw. Yeah.
yeah, Samuel Saw here asked about Malaysian Tech Index. So for index, okay, for index, right, we have all sort of index in Malaysia, but maybe here you need to change the market to MYX, to Bursa lah, right? Then you can search lah. I mean, technology, or easier, you can click index. So all the index related is here, right? Health, technology, construction, plantation, or not. Okay, so yeah, so I use this lah just now, technology.
How about Chong? Chong is asking, how about semiconductor sector? Time for a cool down. Time for some cool down.
Where's that? Oh, how about semiconductor sector? Time for cool down. Right. I think if you ask about semiconductor sector, you really close to this. This is fundamental question lah, right? So
It's never a cool down,
I
bro.
I personally think that I mean our market, first semiconductor sector itself in global is a growing business. In fact, we are on shortage, right? So we are basically trying to cover up the shortage. But of course, to cover up this semiconductor shortage, it will be not not that slow lah. It will be fast. Okay. So my point is, if you want to make money on semiconductor, this is the time. So now we see the potential to collect, right, because of the outside influence, like the outside things lah, right, which is like because of COVID cases in US, right, they start to bearish with the market again. There's a there's a discussion about stimulus. They want to reduce stimulus there or not, right? So of course, semiconductor is very related to the global technology itself, right? Our semiconductor sector really close with that, right? A global tech. So I guess that provides us the breath to retrace, right? So I think what we should look at is just recovery, right? Where's the price start to rebound, right? Start to making up the base, right? But I personally still bullish with semiconductor. What about you? All right. I
Oh,
think
for
this
sure.
you are a better person to answer this lah.
Well, for sure. I mean, semiconductor, especially in Malaysia. So I'm not sure what Chong is asking which market, but Malaysia, especially where it's the hottest, you know, especially in the tech sector, is the hottest. Where I mean, there's no like seriously in the Malaysian market, there's nothing exciting, right? Compared to the your high growth in US or high growth in China or whatever. So people look at tech stocks, and when they look at tech stocks, they look at semiconductors, right? And especially ever since that huge US China tension, the beneficiaries are now playing out. Earnings growth are increasing. They're creating more and more, earnings definitely for Malaysian, this our hub, our ecosystem here. So definitely, but regardless of that, this is definitely a huge sunrise industry, right? Growing anyway. If we are investing in fundamentals, we should be investing for our kids, right? This is the sector that we should be really holding long term. In terms of ETF, this is one of the top performing ones in the US, right? If we look at the top, 5 years, the best ETF that's been growing, semiconductors, right? That's for sure. But that was back in 2020, 2019. I'm not sure about now, but this is definitely a good sector to go in. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, time for cool down in terms of like technical or short term, I don't really know. I can't answer you that. But all in all, overall, right, when we look at the market, when we look at valuations, definitely been a little too hot. So we need, maybe there's a cool down, but my thesis is that there's going to be definitely going to be short term cool down by looking at overall market. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
So I like
And
this
I
question,
want
but yeah,
to
sorry, go ahead.
yeah
No,
I
you
want to
answer.
add up a little bit lah. I remember that we mentioned about characteristic of the market, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even from the business wise, right? If you really think about, right, just like Warren said lah, like what is the other sexy industry in our country, right? Except
Yeah,
tech. So that's why we see our market characteristic. We are more focused on technology. Even our fund more in technology. If you look at the uh, top ten gainers in the last 10 years, right? Out of I saw this in Stockbit infographic. Out of 10, 9 is tech counter, which is right. Makes sense. Yeah, like you cannot say that. Yeah, we basically that is our growth factor lah, right? No other type of business not that as hot as them at the moment. It's not. I mean, our technology at the super cycle stage lah, right, on the bullish side. So yeah, if you want to take advantage, especially for Malaysia, this is the time because um, first, we are very small player in the whole value chain, right? When the sector start to go downtrend, right? Our country will hit first lah. Our technology sector will hit first, right? Because we are small player. So I guess that's why we need to look at the big time frame, right? If we talk about technology, right? So
sure.
yeah, agree with Warren lah on this.
Awesome. I like this question by Constantine. He's actually looking at our YouTube. And guys, if you can, you also look at our YouTube live, right? What do you think of Palantir cup and handle pattern?
Oh, okay.
Fik, that's for you, man.
Can.
Constantine.
Cup and handle pattern. All right. Okay. First thing first, right? This is forming. I mean, this is cup. This is not yet a cup and handle pattern lah, right? This is forming cup and handle, right? Cup and handle should test the resistance, right? And this probably could be like a rounding bottom or something, right? Cup handle should do another handle, right? Another movement like this. So this is cup handle. But I agree that it's forming that pattern, right? Rounding bottom in short term. Okay. And in fact, if you look at this movement, right, this is downtrend, right? Now the price is uptrend, downtrend, and continue the trend. So if you look at Elliott wave, right, I can say this is the first. This is the first. Sorry. So this is the since this is the first wave, right? Now you go to retracement, right? Now on the move to the third wave, right? So the idea of third wave, right? The price should, yeah, the price should trade at least here lah, around this level or around this level, right? So we have a huge upside here, right, in Palantir, right? But of course, the next resistance that you need to break is 618, right? If cannot break 618, it cannot prove that it is not a strong indicator that this is a bullish counter or bullish wave, right? And yeah, part of the elite wave movement, like I mentioned just now, lah. So we look at this resistance, okay, and yeah, now it's still good. Why? Because here we see there's a gap. As long as the price still maintain above the gap, right, we should consider this as um, a breakover trend. Means that this is the whole new trend altogether. Okay, so that's why if we do our trend line here, right, maybe we can do a trend line like this, right? So now it break the whole new trend. It forming a whole new trend already, right? So upside we expecting upside lah, right? So but yeah, I mean still looking at the market environment lah, right? Like the volatility in short term and whatnot. So as long as still above this gap, I think still okay. That's my analysis lah on Palantir. Right? Maybe when we did talk about Palantir, maybe I like to also touch about Dropbox.
Nice.
Because just now you also talk about those Dropbox. And in fact,
Yeah.
this this is counter that we discussed last week, right, Warren?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but by the way, guys, viewers today, uh, do you guys have US stocks? If you guys invest in US stocks, let us know in the comments. We plan on actually doing more and more analysis TA wise on US stocks. We want to stick to what we do best, but also we want to be focusing on another market. So TT Technical Tuesday will be concentrating more on Malaysian stocks. Do tune in also. But on Friday, we actually intend to allocate all of our time, most of our time, in US stocks, right? So today was special because new announcement, right? Sabri. Uh, yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, coming to Dropbox, right? So
Yeah.
you can see in weekly chart, this is downtrend, right?
Yeah.
Then this is the uptrend. This is also forming the rounding bottom, right? Almost same like Palantir, but this is in bigger scale, bigger time frame. So um, provided that it maintain above this trend line, right? It should go up. Sorry, right? Provided it maintain above this trend line, right? We should expect that the price can test this all the time high level, okay, which is 43, 47, right? And this is also adding up to our our elliott wave reading, right? Um, and in fact, it's coming through lah. It's go down. Like, alright. So forming the first wave, second wave, and third wave, right? And this is basically the yeah. I mean, this is the third wave, the resistance for third wave, right? So even last time I said that maybe going to trace to around this three support level. Yeah. So watch closely lah. Maybe we can anticipate to buy this position again around this level, but the most important thing is still have a huge upside, right? Still have a huge upside. Still have the high probability, high chance in technical theory to test the all-time high, right? When it break the all-time high, it can even trade higher, right? Maybe test 72 cent, $72, right? So that is on Dropbox. Proof.
Oof.
I think this is
Very.
still within your fundamental valuation, right?
Oh,
Warren?
confirm, bro. Confirm. So
Right.
those of you that seriously, those of you that missed out our workshop on Dropbox thesis, we revealed a lot of things, right? We provided. Hopefully, it can provide some value to you guys. We have a recording. If you want to get access to the recording, comment Dropbox, right? My admin will send that to you. Hopefully, you can
Yeah.
engage with her. But the beauty about Dropbox is that it's so strong fundamentals. You know, I mean, in my opinion, guys. Again, we're not financial advisors. We don't know your risk tolerance. Do your own duty. DYOFDD. What does that mean? Do your own fucking duty, right? Anyway, anyway, Dropbox is strong fundamentally, in my opinion. Recent earnings, especially with acquisitions, right? They are focusing on M&A. Seriously, you know, to me, the bullish times, the better times are just beginning, right? Backed up, so that is FA. Backed up by, you know, sorry, back on FA, we already identified a margin of safety. We already got this into this investment last year. Our cost price is really low, but we already have a 5-year thesis that, you know, this Dropbox is easily 3x based on fundamentals. But if you combine that with TA, right? And I never seen him do this before. Like during our workshop, I never did it. I didn't discuss with him on TA, and he suddenly, oh, you know what, alert wave, expecting to go down before it goes up. I'm like, wow. See, that's the power of FATA, right? FA and TA. Because when I got this to sharpen our
Fata.
thesis on our entry, FATA, yeah, we were talking all about FATA, right? So when I look at that, I'm like, wow. I mean, if we can, I'm seriously expecting a pullback, because if it pulls back, now I didn't do my analysis technical wise, because I'm just waiting on dips, right? From the highs, if it goes down 10%, with 15%, I'll be buying another tranche. That's my style. But when I look at this, it's like, okay, the thesis is sharpened, right? The thesis is sharpened. It dropped back down. If it goes to 25, I'll be buying heavy, because my margin of safety, my valuation based on long term is right at this particular point, you know, 3x from the point that I bought, right? So we have to do these things, right? This is to sharpen our thesis, and it's good news, right? You're expecting a pullback. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and also we see the price volume divergence here. So right, technically it's very obvious lah. Going to retrace.
Very obvious.
Uh,
Thank see. So luckily I didn't buy yet, lah, right? I didn't go in again so fast. But anyway, that's good news, lah.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
Awesome.
Twitter.
Yeah, Zamri is asking for Twitter. Yeah, definitely. We need to be more active on Twitter, to be frank. If we are gonna be talking on US stocks, we need to be more talking more on Twitter, lah. But anyway, Zamri, I think is probably asking for Twitter on the stock. But yeah, what do you think about Twitter, bro?
Yeah, but yeah. Twitter. But is stock community active in Twitter in US side?
I mean, our market is gonna be US people. I mean, you know, international, and I think a lot of Malays use Twitter, right? So I think it's a
Yeah,
good,
a lot of Malays use Twitter, but
yeah. It's a good,
US stock.
good channel to go. Yeah, maybe I don't. Maybe Azami is asking for Twitter US. I don't know. Maybe you can analyze for him US. Yeah, but I'm just
Okay,
talking about Twitter overall.
right. Yeah, this is cup handle pattern lah, right? If you want to see example of cup handle, this is cup handle. Okay, so the formation of cup handle is actually quite easy, right? You need to do a downtrend. You need to form a base, right? Then you need to go uptrend again, right? So for now, in uptrend, then retrace a bit and continue uptrend. So this the bigger time frame, right? This is rounding bottom, meaning that this resistance is very important resistance. Okay, if the price really break this, right? Previously it test this price, right? 1, 2, 3 times, right? It test this price 3 times, meaning that this is very important resistance level. So once we manage to break this complete breakout, right? Yeah, we're going to see Twitter trade at a higher price. Okay, but now what happened here, right? This is, you see the price gap up, then gap down. So this gap up is basically we call exhaustion gap. Why? Because the price already dropped, closed the gap, and in fact trade lower lah, right? So it's forming the reversal island here. So this whole reversal island, right, we can use as our support and resistance. right? Okay, so now the price still trade within the area of high volatility, right? It's still very choppy. So we want to make sure the price manage to break this area completely. All right, so that's number one. Break this resistance and break this resistance again, right? But at the moment, the price still downtrend, all right, because of this island reversal. We are expecting downtrend, okay. But again, the bigger time frame, this is still an uptrend move, okay. So maybe what we see here is just short term, okay, and yeah, maybe it's also forming a triangle pattern or whatnot, right? Yeah, but I think it's still too early lah, right? It's still too early. Maybe you can collect at lower price and whatnot. Yeah, you can still collect at lower price. Maybe test this $60 support or not. Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. So going back to the comments, I think we can end this like we try to have our sessions like 1 hour so that people don't stay too long and right, so that we all can also concentrate. But let's go quickly on maybe Stefan. Your boy Stefan, bro, he's asking for Coinbase.
Oh, Coinbase. All right.
Yeah.
This is okay, Coinbase. Coinbase.
Thanks, man, Zamri. Thanks. Hopefully you got, tune into, our Friday lives. Hopefully you got some value out of that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Coinbase.
Okay. All right. I think Coinbase we can use Pitchfork.
Canggih ni ya.
Right. We can use this Pitchfork. So you see here the price trade at the median. Okay, right. Actually, this Pitchfork, I like to use Fibo level 618. 382. Okay, right. So this is the meanings that this is at lower channel of uptrend, right? So if you want to buy, right, this is actually considered low risk, right? So that's number one. Number two, this is uptrend, right? Why I identify this as uptrend, because the price already forming a base of extreme low here, right? It tests 1, 2, 3 times, right? After it tests these 3 times, it's forming a extreme low, right? It create a higher low and higher low, right? Higher low, higher low, higher low and higher high. So that's why we probably can use this channel altogether, right? Anticipating that, right, the price will move above this trend line. Okay, so this is for trend lah, right? But I guess this is something that we need to look beyond that. Yeah, I mean, probably we can look at momentum lah. So now I'm looking at momentum. You see here, stochastic already show a signal. MACD also showing a signal. So I think as long as Coinbase can maintain above moving average 20, I think this is buying signal,
Good.
right?
Yeah, good point, man. I might trade
Yeah.
some as well.
Yeah.
Coinbase.
So you need to trade above this and right. As long as still above moving average 20, you can write that, right? So
Awesome.
yeah, that's my comment and Coinbase, right? So done. Okay. Right.
Yeah. Great.
Right.
Who else? Oh, DE4X, Palantir, awesome. Those are Dropbox, supporters as well, awesome. Support Constantine says, ask for one stock, but I got 2 in return. No, bro, you got 3, 4, right? Tune in more and you can get more, right? What do you think about of robot bot?
Where's robot bot?
AI day? I think you're talking about
Oh,
AI day, bro.
oh,
Tesla
they
AI
call
day.
robot bot, right? The
Sorry,
Tesla
I
robot.
seriously didn't have time to check it out today, yesterday, whatever. But I mean, my trust in Elon is all there, lah. So whatever he does is all good. I support all the way, right?
I saw
No,
the robot does, but it's not a robot,
damn,
actually. Yeah,
that's
not like
next
that.
level shit, man. 2022, that's next level shit, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
I blow my mind when I watched that. I was like, wow. Oof.
dude, come on,
He,
guys.
he creating he
Why
creating Terminator, bro.
why aren't we investing in the Elons in our lifetime, guys? I said
Oof,
this
oof.
before and I'll say it again, right? Why aren't we investing in the Elons in our lifetime, the Jeff Bezos in our lifetime, the Jack Dorseys in our lifetime? Dude, come on, guys. I don't know, man. I don't want to say how obvious it is, but this is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I will check
Okay.
it out and I'll update our group. But please, guys, appreciate it if you can, tune in, follow us on our platforms, especially on YouTube. We're actually gonna start more videos on YouTube. We want to be right, giving more value in that space. We're only touching that in. So yeah, do like us on all our platforms and share. Right. Hopefully, you guys got some value today. Fig, do you have anything else to conclude this?
No, but yeah, I just want to reiterate again that next week probably going to be this hype stock play, right? And if you want to play safe within this downtrend move of the market, maybe we can really look into what big fund play, right? Like what RHB looking at, what Kenanga looking at, right? This can easily get within their report, lah, right? So yeah, I mean, be more selective and yeah, focus on the correct strategy, lah. I guess that's just suggestion, right?
Awesome. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, guys, man. Constantine, Zamri, you guys are awesome. Gurdit, Stefan, D4X, guys, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned every Friday, right, where we talk about more US stocks, hopefully, and whatever opportunities that we can find, technical wise. Every Friday. Thanks, guys. We're gonna sign off, right? Appreciate it.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.